about that. Let's continue.
No problem. So I started off as a fax clerk, and the guy over here was just laughing because I think he doesn't know what a fax clerk is.
Yeah.
So basically, it was a fax clerk at that time was before technology was so advanced. The faxes used to come through like on a roll of beam of paper. So we used to have to go to the actual fax machine and then go and collect the faxes and then hand it over to the necessary department for them to process. Obviously, my journey from there moved from a fax clerk into a processing clerk, into a documentation clerk, and so forth. So my whole journey at the bank lasted for about 15 years, which was a very, very good experience for me. It determined my growth in terms of the corporate environment. Really, really made me grow in terms of a person as well. And I obviously ended up being a portfolio manager after the 15 years that I worked at the relevant bank that I was working for. So yeah, and then after that, went on to something else. Did OPE work, which was a new experience for me as well. Worked with children, teenagers as well as small children. From there, went on to being a PA at a dental laboratory, and then obviously, like a year and a half ago, ended off working at a newspaper in a legals department. So yeah.
Okay, I would like to come in then and ask you a few questions. Are you comfortable disclosing which bank you're working with?
I actually worked for Standard Bank, Vehicle and Asset Finance.
Oh wow. Standard Bank, which branch were you working with?
It wasn't a specific branch because it was Vehicle and Asset Finance. We were based all over Johannesburg, so
Okay.
it wasn't one particular branch. I used to look after different Standard Bank branches.
Oh, okay. So then also fast forward. Actually, I would like to ask. Usually, my vlogs about family, foreigners, and everything. So, are you comfortable telling us whether you have a family, you have kids, and stuff like that?
Yeah, I've got one daughter. My daughter's big already, like she's an adult already.
Okay.
She's got kids of her own. My family, I am the only daughter of like three. So I've got an elder brother and a younger brother.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically it. And my mom, my dad is late. That's
Oh,
basically it.
okay. So let's go back to the story again, to the fact story. What did you say the job was?
It was
Oppo?
a fax clerk.
Oh,
Oh,
fax.
OP. You're talking about OP.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so what were you pretty much doing?
So OP is basically like I was caretaking children. So it was children ranging from teenagers to like the age of 3. So it was basically picking them up for school, taking them to the relevant activities, taking them to the sports activities, dropping them off at home again. Basically taking care of their full day because their parents are obviously professionals and they needed someone to take care of their children during that time.
Oh wow. So take me through the shift from working from a nice job in a bank, you're touching money every
Oh
day,
my
or
god, that
you
is like
did.
a huge shift. That
Yeah.
is a huge, huge, huge shift. I must tell you, that's like a huge shift.
Okay.
It's like really like a downgrade. But yeah, so basically it's a very, very big drop
Yeah.
from what you were earning initially because as you know,
Yeah.
right now, the salaries are not that much attractive anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, the salary was a very, very huge drop from what I was earning, probably triple.
Oh, actually, talking about earning.
Yeah.
How much does a banker or a bank teller or a person who is
I don't
working
know how much they earn.
at the time you were working?
I wouldn't know. I really wouldn't know. I wasn't working inside the bank as a teller, but
Oh,
yeah.
just affiliated to the bank.
Yes, affiliated to the bank. I was a subsidiary of the bank, not working in the bank
Okay,
itself.
so at that, I would like to imagine at that time you were driving, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Which car were you driving?
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, it started off with Toyota Runnix, and then I ended up driving an Audi Q3.
Nice, mate. So, back after you've left the bank job and stuff, were you still having your car?
Yes, I did. I initially only gave it up after 2 years because obviously, to
So
maintain it and you're not earning the same amount of money,
Mm,
you obviously can't afford to have it anymore.
oh, okay. So at that time, were you owning a house? Were you renting?
No, no, no. We were owning house.
You were owning a house. Okay. So still about the transition and trying to fit in. Were you bullied at work at
Me?
that? Yeah.
No,
Oh,
I wasn't bullied.
you are,
Do I look like somebody that can
no,
be
no, no. I
bullied?
feel like
No.
you could go with your previous job experience and comfort, and then this new job, it's uncomfortable. The money is not good enough. So
No, I don't think that I could ever be bullied. I think you've just got to adapt.
yeah,
You've got to adapt to certain circumstances and situations in your life. So I don't think that I was bullied at any job or whatever that I was working.
yeah. Because you see, for me, asking from a point of when you're coming from a very nice
From
job,
a high salary,
yeah,
from a
and
high
you go to
earning.
a low. Of course, you have to share with your
Yeah,
friends.
your life does change because obviously your lifestyle changes, your whole lifestyle changes.
Yeah,
From what you used to be able to do to what you can do right now is completely different.
yeah,
So whereas you were maybe going to Santon and having supper, now you've got to go to, just as an example, Wordsworth and have supper, which is now an affordable kind of thing.
yeah.
So your budget does sort of like, decline drastically from what you used to do to what you can do right now. But I think that you do, you adapt, because at some point in time, everything just manages itself.
Yeah. So, what was it like for your kid, your daughter, when you shifted from a nice job, then you went to this?
Actually, when I left the bank, my daughter had already finished school.
Oh wow.
So it wasn't as if it was during the time that she was still at school. No,
Yeah,
my daughter had already finished school. I think that was what was more important for me.
yeah,
That she had finished her matric, so it was basically just for her to do her further studies.
yeah.
And thank God she's independent now. She lives on her own. She's got a very good job. She's seeing to herself. So yeah, it didn't affect her in any way.
Yeah, I remember before we started recording, you told me about the environment at the workplaces. How was it
Yeah,
like?
it's actually like when you're going to like when you start off in a certain environment, as the years progressed.
Yeah,
Look, I started off at the bank in like 1998 as permanent, but I worked there for 2 years as a temp. So obviously, during that time in South Africa was still going through a lot of changes.
yeah,
Because 1994, we were obviously the elections took place,
yeah,
and there were a lot of things that were happening, and so through the years, there were so many changes that took place that you could physically see in the work environment, things that were taking place, and opportunities for non-whites,
yeah,
more opportunities that there were for non-whites, the growth that took place in certain areas, and so that was a very nice thing coming into a corporate environment.
yeah,
It's just that I love to see all the changes that had happened through those 15 years of mine working there, which is very nice, as a non-white to see the growth opportunities that existed for us.
yeah,
And then, as things go on and you move on to other working environments, it was actually at some places that I worked, it was so scary to see that they started to work around all those old things that we already did out with,
yeah.
like nepotism, relations. There was a place that I worked at where I still experienced racism, which was so scary for me, like in today's day and age,
Oh wow.
that you still experience racism to that extent, that you still experience nepotism to that extent, that you still experience, you were talking about bullying earlier on,
Yeah,
where you're working in an environment and, we now have labor laws,
yeah,
there's so many things that you can do to protect your right as an employee.
yeah.
And for me, it was actually scary that I worked for this one place where your rights were infringed upon. You felt
Wow.
scared to act on your right because you knew what the repercussion of that action was going to be. So it was a case of you were going to lose your job anyway. So you were actually bullied at some point in time that it's either you're going to leave or they're going to make it so miserable for you that you would end up leaving.
Wow.
So there's a lot of scary things that you experience, which I still found like, for me it was a shock. That
Yeah, it was
today's
strange.
day and age you still experience something like that.
So, would you like to share intensively, like, or at length, what exactly were the challenges, like, or what exactly the type of people that were doing that
No,
bad habits?
it was for me. It was scary. From like I'm saying, coming from a very corporate environment, our managers were so. I'm telling you, there were so many changes that took place. They were so adaptable. You could speak to them about anything. There were so many changes in the bank that you could adapt to, and the managers changed. It was called change management. That's
Yeah,
what it was called. It was called change management. You
yeah,
had to change your whole way of working, how you dealt with people. We went for managerial space, in head space, that people still acted on that level of, the way that they do with bullying employees, and, still having that, we call it an open door policy, where you could go and speak to people openly about whatever problems were.
Yeah.
Whereas that other place that I worked for, it was just like, there were still those levels of, I'm here and you there.
Yeah.
You don't talk to me because you are down here. You don't
Wow.
greet me because you are down here. So it was always that case of, they are higher than you. It wasn't that, oh, okay, we're working for the same environment.
It was not
No.
a free space,
Yes,
free
not at all,
environment.
not at all. So that
Okay.
for me was also something that I didn't enjoy.
So was it also extended to the legal part of it? Like if you wanted to go challenge them in court or go to the labor and CMM,
Yeah, I think that
would
they
it also not?
yes, that is the thing, is that you wouldn't even want to go to that extent of going to the CCM or the labor court, because you already felt so scared. You don't know what's going to happen after that. Even though you might win, but I think because the processes are so long,
Yeah.
that you wouldn't actually go and do it, because you know that this is probably going to take long. And remember, them being who they are. This is my last employer I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They obviously have legal people behind them, because I'm sure they've been taken to the CCMA
Yeah,
before.
true. Yeah, true.
You understand? So they
Yeah.
obviously have a legal team behind them that can sort it out. But it was very scary, the sort of things that I saw happening there. But I hope it changes.
Yeah, it has changed now. By 2024, it should have
Well, that
changed.
was like just 2 years ago. So yeah,
Oh,
I hope
wow.
that.
So I don't want to actually dwell so much into that, but I also want to understand. I know you. Actually, I don't know actually your true race, because I don't understand that. In Uganda, usually we feel like we are all humans, we are all Africans. So in South Africa, it's quite different.
Yeah, no, it
So
is.
do you wanna tell us why which race you are, and then I would like to ask you the second question. Uh, was it also for the black people? Also, the white people are also discriminated in the same way, or
Me, what nationality am I?
Yeah,
I am
you're-
South African,
yeah?
Muslim.
Uh-huh.
I don't refer to myself as an Indian or a colored, but most people assume that I'm colored, but I am a South African Muslim.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yes, I'm a Malay actually. So, you were asking me about the racism thing. Was it more towards?
Was it also towards the blacks or the whites?
No, I'm talking about. This is where I experienced racism. If I'm saying racism, I'm talking about those years where it was against non-whites.
Oh,
Where the
non-whites.
racism
Okay,
was
okay.
against non-whites.
Now I get
This
it.
is the racism. that
Oh, I
was
get it.
talking
I get it.
And this was the first time, because remember, being my age, I never really experienced what it was about.
Yeah.
I think that by the time we came into the working environment, we never experienced it so severely as maybe our parents did.
Yeah, it had already
And
started changing.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
now for me to have experienced that at my age, it was actually scary. It was hurtful.
Yeah.
It just created something in me that made me resent the environment I was working. I didn't want to go to work, and made me resent the environment I was working in, because it wasn't only me, it was
Yeah.
happening to people around me as well. And that was the scary.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's interesting. I really like your conversation. I really like how informative it is, but I also want to know more. Is there anything more you want to share with the people watching? Because I know South Africa now has changed a lot. As a foreigner, I really love this country. I really love the diversity, the culture, and all. But is there anything you want to tell the people out
No,
there?
I just want to tell you, I am looking for a job. By
Oh,
the way,
okay.
I am now in the employment market. I'm looking for a job. And guys, please subscribe to his channel. He's the coolest dude ever. I see him almost every day. He's always asking me about very informative things. He's always willing to learn. So yeah, that's basically it. So if there's anybody out there that is willing to give me a chance, please send him a message so that he can give me a
Yeah,
job.
true. Because I actually,
And subscribe and like his channel.
yeah, that's really important. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
So